50 million Nigerians are non-literate.
Well, Engine 2 is a program, a girls' education program supported by DFID and the Girls' Education Challenge of UK Aid. And it's led by Mexico, Nigeria, and it's in 4 states in Nigeria.
Engine target over 18,000 marginalized adolescent girls in Kano, Kaduna, FCT, and in Lagos. And it's as an education intervention through the Girls' Education Challenge that actually helps girls in school and girls that are out of school, girls whose education has stopped, to return to school and to improve their learning outcomes.
For the out-of-school girls, which is what Literacy by Radio is related with, they have learning sessions in their communities. First of all, they were assessed to determine their level of education, and because most of them they lost the opportunity to complete their education because of poverty, early marriages, teenage pregnancy, you know, and so they missed the opportunity to complete their education. So we determined their level, and then we placed them in classes. Some of them are the basic literacy, some post, some continuing education, and some were even able to get admission into higher tertiary institutions of learning.
The states where we work in peri-urban communities. So these are girls that may not have the kind of opportunities that you see in the city. So we support them with the education, giving them extra tutoring to be able to do well in school and then transit to tertiary institution or transit to work.
Assalamu alaikum. Sunana Khadija Abubakar. Ni ce mama shugaban kwamiti na NGO din GNG2 na Gwagwa community. So, na zauna ina taimakon su lokacin da in za a zo neman su sai in bi in neme su. Kafin su zo san hada su a ajujuwan da za su yi karatu.
With the coming of the coronavirus, before then, classes were had in different clusters, in different communities by trained facilitators.
My name is Gudia Denjuma. I'm one of the organizers in the community, and in Engine, I'm one of the facilitators, that is LCF at Engine 2. The girls has really changed, like some of them has improved and have changed mentally, like their way of thinking, their way of behaving, and some of them have gone back to school. Some of them are learning skills acquisition, and it has really impacted on them.
Yes, the changes is that in Engine 1, the girls, some of the girls cannot even read and calculate. But the coming of the Engine 2, they can be able to read and calculate.
There was also the CVAP component, which is the Child and Vulnerable Adults Protection, which helps many of the girls to know their rights and know that they were being abused and, you know, to be able to stand up. And many of them got support in that regard.
You see someone that is 15, 16, you see the person having 4, 5 children. Some of them, you see them having 2, 3. Some of them, when they have, they will not even know who pregnated them. So, but now, you see that nobody is, because of the lecture, the help that Engine has been giving them, the lecture that Engine has been giving them, and it has improved their mental and how they think, how they behave. Engine has really helped them. So now we don't have the adolescent girls getting married or getting pregnant. No.
When the COVID-19 pandemic started, we had to stop. Government's directives, schools were shut down. Most of the learning centers are in schools. They take place at schools in after school hours. And we had to stop work with them. Physical contact had to stop because of the social distancing. Now, we have this group of girls that do not have access to Android phones, do not have access. Some don't even have phones at all. Some don't have phones that that you can use for WhatsApp. And they were left out of the learning. We couldn't reach them. And so we began to think of how can we get to those girls? How can learning continue in spite of the pandemic? And we started talking with our partners. We work with a lot of government stakeholders on this project. One of them is the Department for Mass Education, because we knew that they had done some work in rural communities, virtually, teaching them virtually. And so we got to NMEC.
The initiative for the Literacy by Radio program has been with us since around 1996 with the UNESCO initiative for literacy by radio, especially in the local languages. Around 2015, we introduced the Literacy by Radio program in English language for basic literacy in English language, so that the neoliterates in the different Nigerian languages, that is those who have been able to acquire literacy in the local languages, indicated interest also to learn a little bit of English. And that's why we came up with the Literacy by Radio in English, as well as for those who want to acquire the literacy skills up initio in English language. And of course, for all other people that are interested to improve their skills at that particular level. The Tabitha Kumi Foundation approached the Commission with the issue that they had an ongoing program targeting about 2,000 girls in the FCT, and they could not continue with the face-to-face program because of the COVID-19. They therefore needed an intervention, or sort of to partner with us so that these learners could continue their learning amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. And we agreed, and we together sorted out the issue of getting the primers and, of course, airing the program.
Teacher Maria is ready for us.
And big thanks to MNEC. MNEC donated 500 workbooks because it's not just enough for the girls. So we wanted the learning to be a two-way thing. So the girls are able to learn, and they're able to use their worksheets, and then the facilitators go around. Without contact, the girls work and drop their worksheets in the Chief Palace house or in some designated areas. Then the facilitator will go pick it up, mark, return it. So they were still able to have a two-way learning experience without physical contact.
Thank you very much. My name is Mr. Afadaladi here. I'm from this community. I'm a prince. And I love this program. Seriously, these NGOs, they have been helping our children, our sisters, our community entirely, everywhere. This is it because as this corona enter, now we listen to radio every day so that to know the programs, what is happening in the country, in the entire war. Yes, we listen to radio and then listen to radio to see exactly, to hear what is happening at the radio in the whole world. This program is helping the community, not only here, anywhere this NGOs is. Most of, even I visit some areas, some community, Karo, Karshi, Orozo, Jikwe, and other places. I see the program is okay. And the girls, they are picking it, and they are helping. And that is helping them seriously.
It has helped me a lot because before, when I just wake up, I will sleep. But through this one, they used to give us assignments, so it has helped me a lot. Through that radio, this thing, I have learned a lot. In that nationality letter N, there's a passport. They said if you do not have that passport, you can't go out of the country without that passport. So before I don't know anything about that. But through that radio, literacy by radio, I've learned a lot from it.
The radio program has helped that, like in time of today's lesson, we talked about Plateau State. I didn't know anything about Plateau, but I got to know little about Plateau. That is a cool place where everybody wants to go to, and I wish to go there too.
Literacy by Radio was a well thought out program. Facilitators were, first of all, the primer was put together. Facilitators were trained, to work with the primer. So it's the girl, the radio, and the primer. The lessons are well taught out, including civil education, beyond literacy and numeracy. Anyone who goes through the whole curriculum will be a very enlightened, very well-educated individual, because it teaches a lot about Nigeria, the content, just that it teaches about the different states of Nigeria. In each lesson, there's a state. In each lesson, there's an attribute that you need to learn.
The symbol of a lesson is on the top left of the page. It has 3 tie and dye clothes still hanging to be dried. This is the symbol of Osun State, which is in the southwestern part of Nigeria.
So it's a very comprehensive education program for underserved communities, communities that are hard to reach, terrains that are difficult to navigate. This is sent to them, to help them. Then you see pictures of them, of a girl learning, and her bread that she's selling is beside her. Then you see some of them sit down with their whole family, even to take the lessons. And the wonderful thing has been the feedback, because we're having feedback from people beyond the girls that it was intended for.
And as they carry book to us, say one starts program for radio program. We ask what time, we see the time around 9:30 to 10. Okay, on Saturday, we open our radio to 9:30. From 9:30 to 10 o'clock, we end. That first time we fear, we say, we do program from radio. How we want read from radio, we don't know. Once we open radio, as we open radio now, come meet, we start. It's Auntie Nana, who Maria, Dauda. Then go there, now they will open page B, C, if we open now, then go tell us what we see there. Okay, as we know small something from beginning, we could just open and we see the thing where they say. If we then read, we just look, we see waiting they read for us, now it's there. Waiting they say, do you well, we do you well. Okay. Now the thing just the efforts, because now, if I just open my book now, I know where they want to do us tomorrow, I know where they want to do us next week.
With the experience of the COVID-19, literacy by radio programs and, of course, other ICT intervention programs will have to gather more momentum, and we will have to continue with it for some foreseeable future to ensure that learners keep on learning. So certainly there is going to be more collaboration with Tabitha Kumi and Mercy Corp and of course other partners in ensuring that the programs actually run not only in English, but of course revisiting back the transmission of such programs in the local languages at not only basic literacy, but also post-literacy level. So that possibility is quite there.
Yeah, I think the pandemic presents some opportunities and also some risks, and this is one of such opportunities. So having education by radio, for me, it's a very good initiative that should even continue when schools reopen, because it helps to augment what is being learned in school or in the informal learning centers.
Collaboration with stakeholders, it's wonderful, because now it's DFID, GEC, supporting Engine 2, led by Mercy Corps, implemented by Tabitha Kumi Foundation, and run with the support of NMEC. So it's like government, NGO, collaboration to reach the girls during this pandemic. I think it's wonderful.
Literacy by Radio in English is brought to you by Educating Nigerian Girls in New Enterprises, funded by UK Aid, with Mercy Corps as the lead implementing partner and Tabitha Kumi Foundation as the FCT implementing partner, with permission of the National Mass Education Commission.